Hi students, how are you all? I hope you are keeping good. So dear students, in our previous class we learned about the Apprentice Act. So in today's class we are going to see the Contract Labor Act 1970, its regulations and abolition. So let's see the introductions about the Contract Labor Act. Contract Labor Act 1970, it extends the whole India. It has a total 35 sections. It has a 35 sections. The International Labour Organization ILO, what we call as the ILO, International Labour Organization, has defined the contract labor as follow. So they defined the International Labour Organization. They defined the contract labor as follow for the purpose of a proposed convention. The term a contract labor should mean work performed for a natural or legal person, so that we refer to as the user enterprise by a person, so referred as the contract worker, and pursuant to a contractual agreement other than a contract of employment with the user enterprise under actual conditions of a dependency on or a subordination to the user enterprise, where the conditions are similar to those that the characteristics and employment under national law and practice. So overall, say generally we can say it as the contract labor means nothing but the labor is hired by the contract basis or by the other person or a contractor. So that is what the Contract Labor Act. It extends the whole India. So how many sections it include? There are 35 sections. There are 35 sections. Each section tells about the contract labor's rules and regulations. Okay, so let's see what are that. So definition, section 2C, definition, section 2C. So it tells about the definition of contractor. So definition about the contractor. So contractor in relation to an establishment. Okay, so contractor in relation to an establishment. It means a person who undertakes to produce a given result for the establishment. So they were going to produce the given result for the establishment other than a mere supply of goods or articles of manufacture to such establishment. Okay, so through contract or who supplies the contract labor for any work of establishment and includes a subcontractor. So it means the contractor ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಬರ್ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ದ establishment. Okay, so that is the contractor, and they supplies the labor or any other materials to the establishment by the contract basis. Okay, next. Yes, definition. In the second slide, the section 2. So workman definitions. So what is workman? So workman means any person employed in or in connection with the work of any establishment. In connection with the work of any establishment to do any skilled, semi-skilled or unskilled manual, supervisory, technical or clerical work for hire or reward. So whether the terms of employment be expressed or implied but does not include any such person. So A, who is employed mainly in the managerial or administrative capacity. Second one, who being employed in supervisory capacity draws wages exceeding 500 rupees per a mensum or exercises. So mensum in the sense every month. Okay, so either by the nature of the duties attached to the office or by reason of the power vested in him, functions are mainly of the managerial nature, or who is an outworker. So that is to say a person to whom any articles or materials are given out for certain process to return them back. That is the workman. That is the outworker. Okay, next. So now the registration of establishments employing a contract labor. So it includes a section 6 to 10. Section 6 to 10. Okay, the registration of employment employing a contract labor. Section 6 to 10. So appointment of registration officers. So that is the section 6. Section 6. So registration of certain establishments. Section 7. So revocations of registration, section 8. Effect of non-registration, section 9. Prohibition of employment of contract labor, section 10. Okay, so registration of establishment employing contract labor, it includes section 6 to section 10. Section 6 to section 10. So which of the section? So section 6 tells what? So appointment of registering officers. Appointment of registering officers, registration of certain establishment, section 7, and revocations of the registration, section 8, effects of non-registration, section 9, and prohibition of employment of contract labor, section 10. Okay, the first one is the appointment of registering officer. So appointment of registering officer, section 6. Section 6. So write down the section 6, appointment of registering officer. So while you are going to write the sections, so please write that in a proper way. Okay, don't miss it, and don't mention the wrong section numbers. Okay, next, appointment of the registering officer, section 6. So appointed by the appropriate government by notifications in the official gazette. Okay, so here appointment by the appropriate government by notifications of official gazette. And next, appointment such person and define the limits within which the registering officer shall exercise the powers conferred on him by or under this act. Okay, the appointment such person and the define the limits the within which a registering officer shall exercise the powers conferred on him by or under this act. Okay, this is the section 6 all about the registering officer, appointing of registering officer. Next, the registrations of certain establishment, section 7. So registration of certain establishments, section 7. So every principal employer of an establishment to which this act applies shall make an application to the registration officer in the prescribed manner for the registration of the establishment. Okay, so fee rupees 2 to 5 are relating to a number of workmen employed. So next, so if the applications for registration is complete in all respect, the registering officer shall register the establishment and issues to the principal employer of the establishment of certificate of registration containing the such particular as may be prescribed. So such may be particular as prescribed. So in these sections, under these sections, the registration of certain establishments. So here they were going to get the certificates of the registrations, or establishment. So principal employer of establishment of the certificate of registrations and containing such a particular as may be prescribed. Okay, next. So section 8, the revocation of registration. So revocation means what? The revocation means nothing but it's similar to cancellation of registration. Okay, so cancellation of registration, it mentioned in the section 8. If the registering officer is satisfied that the registration of any establishment has been obtained by the misrepresentations or the suppressions of any material fact, or that for any other reason that registration has become useless or ineffective. Useless or ineffective. So effects of a non-registration. So next one is the effects of non-registration. The section 8, it's all about the rejections of registrations while during the establishment has been obtained by the misrepresentations or the suppressions of any material fact. So misrepresentation of the material fact or any other the misrepresentations we can see, or they were recognized the misrepresentations in the establishment. So during that time, so when they consider that is useless, during that time they have right to the revocations of the registrations. Okay, cancellation of the registrations, that is mentioned in the section 8. Okay, next, effects of non-registration, section 9. So what is the effects of non-registration, section 9? So in case an establishment required to be registered under the section 7 is not been registered within the time fixed for the purpose under that section, then punishment will be given as per the section 36. So that will be see later. Okay, next, so effects of non-registration means, it means nothing but, so effects of non-registration, it's tell about the in case the establishment is not registered under the section 7, registered under the section 7, so it has a particular time duration. Okay, so during that time, so ಆ ಸಮಯದ ಒಳಗೆ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 7 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಪನಿಷ್ ದ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Okay, so the punishment will be given as per the section 36. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 36 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 10. ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ನಿಷೇಧ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 10 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 10 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ದ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೇಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್, ಸೊ prohibit by notification in the official gazette employment of contract labor is any process, operation or the other work in any establishment. The appropriate government shall have the regard to the condition of work and benefits provided to the contract labor in the establishment and the relevant factors such as. Okay, so prohibition of employment of contract labor ಇದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇ ಆದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ವೈಖರಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇ ಅಂತ ಆದದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್ಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ದೊರಕುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ವೆದರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ incidental to or necessary for the industry, trade, business, manufacture or occupation that is carried on in the establishment. So next, whether it is a perennial nature, so that is to say it is of a sufficient duration having regard to the nature of industry, trade, business, manufacture or occupations that is carried on in the establishment. So D, so whether it is done ordinarily through the regular workman in that establishment or an establishment similar thereof, whether it is sufficient to employ considerable number of whole-time workman. Okay, this is some kind of rules and regulations under the prohibition of employment of contract labor under section 10. Licensing of a contractor, section 11 to 15. So licensing of contractors. So section 11, so it tells the appointment of a licensing officer. So it appoints the licensing officers. And section 12, the licensing of contractors. Licensing of contractors. Section 13, so grant of license. Grant of license. And section 14, so revocation, suspension and the amendment of license. Section 15, appeals. Section 15, appeals. Okay, licensing of contractors. Licensing of contractors, it includes a 5 sections. Sections 11 to section 15. So let's see in detail what it is. So section 11, appointment of licensing officers. Appointment of licensing officer in the sense the appoint such person and define the limits. Appoint such person and define the limit. For example, I am a licensing officer. Example, okay, I am a licensing officers and it mentioned according to section 11, I have some kind of limits in my process of work. So within which a licensing officer shall exercise the power conferred on him by or under this act. Okay, so it tells what is the role and power of the officer. Okay, so that much only I can do, not more than that. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 11 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಪವರ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲೆ as a licensing officer. So that is this tells in a section 11, so appointment of licensing officers. Next, section 12, so licensing of contractors. Licensing of contractors. So license is not a transferable. So dear students, keep in your mind, the license is not a transferable. So fees rupees of 15 to 375 depending upon the number of workmen employed by the contract, and along with the security is also deposited. So no contract to whom the act applies can undertake or execute any work through contract labor, so except under in the accordance with a license issued in that a behalf by the licensing officer. So provisions of, next one is the provision of this act may contain such conditions includes. So hours of work, so fixation of wages, other essential amenities. So provisions, hours of work, fixation of wages and other amenities, essential amenities. Okay, so that all including in the licensing of a contractor. Licensing of the contractor. Next, section 13, so grant of license. Grant of license. So section 13 tells what? It's about the grant of license. So every application for the grant of the license under subsection 1 of the section 12 shall be made in the prescribed form and shall contain particulars. Second, the licensing officer may make investigation. So they may make the investigation. Next, third one, a license granted shall be valid for the period specified therein and may be renewed from time to time. So what the granted license is there, no, they should be renewed from the time to time. So normally, so generally it has a 12 months of a specific period. 12 months of specific period. So licensing officer may make investigation about the grant of license. About the grant of license. So in case, so it will be not renewed. So they may take the actions or they may give the notification to the renew the license. Renew the license. That mentioned in the section 12. So grant of license. Grant of license. Next. Section 14. Revocation, suspension and amendment of license. If the licensing officer is satisfied either on a reference made to him in this behalf or otherwise that obtained by the misrepresentations or the suspensions of any material fact and fail to comply with the condition subject to which the license has been granted. The licensing officer may vary or amend a license granted under the section 12. Second one, he has also power to forfeit the sum if any or any portion thereof deposited as a security for the due performance of the condition subject to which the license was granted. Section 15. So it's all about the appeal. It's all about the appeals. The aggrieved person may within 30 days from the days on which the order is communicated to him prefer the appeal to appellate officer who shall be a person nominated by the appropriate government for this purpose. So period of 30 days can be extended if there is any sufficient cause. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರದ ಮನವಿ ಸೊ ಅಪೀಲ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಮನವಿಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 15 ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಸೊ ವಿದಿನ್ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಅಪಿಲೇಟ್ ದ ಆಫೀಸರ್. ಸೊ ಅಪಿಲೇಟ್ ದ ಆಫೀಸರ್, ಅಪೀಲ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪಿಲೇಟ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿದಿನ್ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಿ ಸಫಿಶಿಯಂಟ್ ಕಾಸಸ್. ಆ 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಅಗತ್ಯದ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿ ಅದು 30 ಡೇಸ್ ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಲ್ ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. So we just learned only the section 15. It includes total 35 sections. Okay, so remaining sections we are going to see in next class. Okay, till that time, bye bye, have a nice day, take care. So write down the points according to the sections, according to the sections. All right, see you tomorrow, bye.